Hello and welcome to you Virgos. This is your monthly horoscope for November, already November 2016, and let's have a look. What will happen in November? I already talked about it last month in October, that there was going to be a very important aspect between Jupiter and Pluto in a square. And this is now, you're gonna feel it throughout the whole month. And what I didn't mention, but what is very, very important as well, is that Venus, the planet of your self-esteem, your values, what do you like, what do you love, that planet is in the mixture, because that planet is going to come together with Pluto and it's going to square up to Jupiter. Last month we had something similar happening to Mars, but that's a totally different story. That's about our actions. And now it's about what we think is important in life. So that's the first important thing that happens in November. And I'll talk about a fixed star as well, because Rukbat, R-U-K-B-A-T, is involved here on 15 degrees of Capricorn. And that has a certain meaning. And next I'm going to be talking about, what else I'm going to be talking about, of course, in November. There is going to be your ruler, of course, Mercury, that will bump into Saturn and Neptune. But let's start with the most important thing. And for you Virgos, this is quite exciting, because it's happening in a fellow Earth sign in Capricorn, in your most expressive house, which is the 5th house. The 5th house is where you have Pluto there. It means true love. It means true expression. You know, Pluto goes very deep, and it wants to be as authentic as it can be, without manipulation, without manipulation. So it's about things that really are real, about you, about yourself, and how do you connect on a love level, you could say, but also how you connect with expressing you to be very authentic. And I'm thinking about the other video that I did. I'm a Virgo, by the way, and I totally connect with that, actually, about being very open and truthful in your expression, without no nonsense there. And I hope that video about health and Jupiter in Libra was not any nonsense at all. So this is what's happening with you in general for you Virgos. There's something that has to do with your values, because that is Venus. That has to do with your confidence as well. That is transforming. So when Venus comes together with Pluto, and I can give you the exact day, but it's throughout the whole month, that especially as from the 13th, that you are going to feel this very strongly. The peak day is around the 24th, 25th, 22nd, but as I said, you feel it very intensely. So we all are going to transform in a way. We all are going to change through our relationships, through our connections with people, because that's Venus, and that's the Jupiter in the house of Libra. It is in our 2nd house of self-esteem. So we've got on the one side our self-esteem, our trust, that is growing because of Jupiter there. And that's fine, isn't it? Because a lot of Virgos, again in general, not all Virgos, but a lot of Virgos are quite shy, are quite timid, and not sure about themselves. And this is about to change drastically for you Virgos, because you've got this very strong Jupiter there in Libra squaring up to Pluto. So it's like your self-worth is changing through the way you express yourself. That's basically it in very, very general. So you're going to become even more authentic than you already are. And people are going to listen to you because of that. And people are going to love you. The right people are going to love you. I say the right people. Why? Because if you are single, for instance, and you've got Venus, Pluto in the 5th, it's quite obsessive, it could be obsessive, it is quite focused, so let's put it that way. So if you're very focused on someone, if you are single, if you are a Virgo, and you're very focused on someone, my advice is let it go. Let it go. let it go. And if it's meant for you, it will stay. And if it's not, it will go. Because that's exactly what Venus and Pluto is all about. It has a bit the flavor of Venus in Scorpio, so to speak. So it's also very intense. It's also very controlling. But that's the negative side. Wanting to control. If you want to control and if you want things happen your way, it's going to backfire, actually. And you Virgos have learned that that doesn't work, especially with Neptune in your opposite sign. A lot of Virgos are learning now to let go a little bit more. And that's thanks to this, well, not thanks to this, it reflects it, that Neptune is in your opposite sign and activated again by Mercury, your ruler, which I'll talk about in a minute. But so this energy is at its best when you really are very sincere when it comes to, again, when it's about a relationship, when it becomes to this new relationship. When it's not about relationships for you, then it's about your self-expression. Don't hide anything. And if you express it, do it very authentically, and you will attract a way more confidence towards yourself. But also, as a consequence that you probably didn't calculate, you are going to attract more people towards you who fit you better, who are a better match to you, whether it is friends, whether it is whatever. Because that Jupiter is the ruler of your 7th house of relationships, and it's in your 2nd, which means that you're getting a lot of value from other people now. So it's not a bad month at all for you Virgos. You know, for the cardinal signs, it's quite a bit more challenging than for you. And the fixed star that is involved at 15, so it's interesting to look, this happens all at 15 degrees of Capricorn. So if you've got like a sun or a moon or an ascendant around 15 degrees, you'll feel it very strongly in a positive way, because that trines your Virgo energy. And the fixed star that is there at 15 degrees of Capricorn is called Rugbutt, which is the symbol of the steadiness. So there's a lot, and it's the symbol of the steadiness, the archer's stance, you could say. And this implies steadiness and solidity, and that's what Virgos like. They are an earth sign. So what this means is that ultimately all this maybe pressure that you feel, that you really cannot hide things anymore, it's going to give you steadiness and solidness. It's going to give you, it may sound strange, but it's going to give you stability and solidness. And you can use that energy to give yourself strength in a way. So it's about a long-term consequence here. It's about long-term goals. So yeah, for the Virgos, it's really, really positive. It's something that they've been working on for a long time that now is coming to fruition. It can also mean, if you are pregnant, for instance, that you're going to have a child that, you know, you're transformed totally because of it. Of course, when we have children, we change. But that child can be a very intense child and a very clever, intelligent child when it comes to the intuition. Now, what else? So there were 2 things, but that was the most important one. So that's certainly something. If you are a Virgo who is wanting to start an own business, great. And there's going to be a bit of fear involved there, but you're going to do it anyway. With this energy, it is a great energy to do. And because the 5th house is also what we create, and our own businesses are a part of that as well. Now, something that is a bit less important, but more important for the Virgos, less in general, is the Mercury, your ruler, shifts into Sagittarius also on the 13th. And why is this important? Again, the old story, it's going to bump into Saturn and Neptune. So Mercury will be in your 4th house of your roots, your home, your core identity, and it's gonna bump up into Saturn in that same house, and it's also gonna bump up into Neptune in your 7th house of relationships. So there's something about relationships and about your home situation that could be a bit under tension. So whether it is if you work from home, for instance, and there's a bit of tension there, or whether that is a relationship that is a bit foggy there, but no fear there for that, because you are very, very grounded with Saturn in your 4th house. So, but it can be a bit of it's like, on the one hand you need to keep the faith in people, but on the other hand you need to be very with the feet on the ground as well, which is something that Virgos normally are very good at. Having said that, I wish you Virgos all the best. There's also a new moon, a new sort of beginning at the very end of the month, on the 29th, in your 4th house. So there is like this new beginnings when it comes to your home, family, and your emotional stability. Having said that, thank you so much for watching. Keep on sharing, and see you next time. Bye bye.